Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Oscar Buzz. It is Cannes Day 6 that we are on right now. We're at the halfway point of the festival. We're going out of 12. Still got some interesting things coming, but today we have just some insane stuff going on with the zone of
We do.
interest. It started at a 98 and it went up. We also got
and there's not many
biggest-
places that can go up from 98. We'll get to all of that kind of stuff, all the CANNES standings later on. But yeah, wild.
Wow. May December had his Metacritic come in. We'll talk a bit more about that. And also we had premieres for a couple of the bigger titles such as Anatomy of a Fall and Firebrand. So let's get into it. So we got first reviews for Firebrand. They're middling. This isn't a competition title, but it's Alicia Vikander, it's Jude Law, it's a period drama about King Henry VIII and Catherine and all of that type of stuff. This is about what I expected for it. 3.4 feels reasonable.
Yeah, nothing too of note here. I mean, as period dramas goes, it's better than Jinder Barry, so there's that at least. But yeah, it does seem middling, and even like just very down the middle, you see that letterbox rating curve. A lot of people thinking it's 2 out of 5, which is not great, but then obviously the most common rating 3, and then you do have stuff even higher than that. So it really does seem to be splitting people down the middle. I've heard that Jude Law is apparently quite transformative. I've heard he gets lost in a role. I've heard Vikander is good as well. But no, not too really of note. Doesn't seem that big. Shouldn't be doing anything in terms of, I know it is in competition, but awards and shit like that later. Just doesn't seem like it will be that for this film.
Yeah. Matt Nagley seemed to like it quite a bit, really highlighting Alicia Vikander and Jude Law's performances. I mean, like, it seems like the performances are good. It's just the narrative is nothing new.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what else we were expecting from this.
No, I don't know who the director is. Not too familiar.
I news, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. It just is a sort of film that a lot of films are premiering at Cannes, and this just seems to be one that will go under the radar. Not too big. Didn't make a big splash, but well, you get some of those.
Yeah. And it doesn't even seem like it's like a Corsage or something like that. Which go watch Corsage if you haven't.
Yes,
great movie. Okay, let's move on to Anatomy of a Fall, which got a bit better reception. Got a 3.6, pretty solid. We'll see it show up on the Cannes standings a bit later. Apparently, Sandra Hüller is just great. I mean, we see David Ehrlich right here, tar-worthy. And I have heard nothing but raves. It isn't Letterboxd, but no Oscar expert, fellow awards YouTuber, said that she was astounding and could possibly win the Cannes Best Actress award for this. And she's looking to have a good festival because she's also leading the zone of interest.
Yeah, exactly. Remember that name, because zone of interest, if it does maybe, get some acting support later down the line, potentially she is a name that could pop up again. And it could be another time when we see, actors have a big year, are very good in a range of films. Perhaps she could, have a sort of minor.
Tony Erdmann, I'm Your Man. She's a well-respected actress. She just hasn't really made the crossover into a lot of more mainstream films in America.
No, but perhaps this is as you say, 3.6, very high. Looks like people really like it. So yeah, I mean, not much more to add. It is in competition as well, so there is potential that it won't be that high. I don't think it won't be placing. There's been a lot of films in competition that have been premiering to very rave reviews, so it's not quite that. It is just a slight tier below, but still something to maybe look out for at the end of the festival.
And again, I think we could see Sandra Hüller potentially showing up for the Cannes Best Actress award. I think that's very, very possible that she takes it. I don't know if these Anatomy of a Fall and Zone of Interest be counted together for her, or if they're kind of separately. I'm not entirely sure of the rules, but apparently she's pretty astounding in this. I mean, again, you look at the rating curve, very strong 4 majority right here. So very, very exciting. I'm excited to see this. We could also potentially see this being an international feature submission down the line. So
we could. It's always good with Cannes to look out for these potential early frontrunners for international, because a lot of them do end up premiering at Cannes every year. So could this be one potentially?
Absolutely. All right, let's take a look at the standings, where we're going to talk about a bunch of different stuff with Metacritic scores and where it's potential. So before we move on, we just got done recording, but the Anatomy of a Fall Metacritic score this draft got a 90. A 90. That's really, really strong. So definitely be looking out for this in the international feature race. That won't be reflected in the Cannes standings because I already got done with the graphic and I don't feel like changing it. But you'll see it reflected tomorrow. Really, really strong scores from Cannes. That's our fourth 90 plus score in the last couple of days. Insane stuff. Keep an eye out on this one. So the first thing that you'll probably notice is that we got 99 on
Yeah.
the board. Zone
Yes.
of interest, it was 98 yesterday. It's 99.
Ridiculously high. We were looking at,
Ridiculously high.
the all-time Metacritic list, and that's something within itself where you're
Number
having to look at a list like
18.
the all-time. Number 18th. Yeah, so I mean, if you're looking at recent memory, past 10 years or so, Boyhood 100, Moonlight 99, those are the only two films that are above it.
Yeah.
And one of them won Best Picture, one of them was probably second in that year, if we're looking at it. So exactly, well, the front runner for a very long time. This is an incredible score. This is absurd. Yeah. I don't doubt that this will go down once more people start seeing it. I do see it's apparently a bit experimental. People could start, not giving it 100s, let's say. But I don't think it can drop below 95. I don't think it is dropping more than 4 points, which is still going to be insanely good and still probably going to be the highest critically acclaimed film of the year. I like something else could obviously beat it, we never know. But surely 99 is placing it in a pretty strong position to be the critical darling of the year.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, and like also if we're looking at like international films, like Parasite was 96. Portrait of Lady on Fire was 95. I think you have Kovade Saida, which is at like a 97. Like this is a German language film, which could also be a potential barrier for it. But like it's the highest language, the highest non-English language film I think since like Pan's Labyrinth or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was higher than that even. Yes,
It was higher
genuinely
than
so.
that. Like
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So I don't know. Like I mean, if this is internet, because like Jonathan Glazer's British and it's A24, which is an American studio, but apparently it's a German language and it's a German cast. So I think it would say German film, and they'd be able to submit it for international feature. Like if so, we could be potentially looking at an international feature win. I mean, director, picture. Like, I mean, I think it's you can't have a 99 from A24, the studio that just won Best Picture, and be like, it's just not gonna get a Best Picture nomination. Like,
no, it's got to at least be in the conversation. And if it is picking up these noms, like I think Jonathan Glazer is like, surely he's just a Cannes director, like, and cinematography as well. So it's got all of these things going for it, and this should hopefully make a big splash. It does make the Past Lives Zone of Interest conversation a lot more interesting. You've got Past Lives at a 95, probably will be more accessible. If this stays 98, 99, it makes A24's decision very difficult, because which one do they choose to prioritize? I think they have to prioritize one, and I think that could be at the cost of nominations for the other film. I don't think it'll cost its Best Picture nomination, but it could maybe limit it potential elsewhere.
Potentially, but like it's also like May, and we'll see what A24 decides to go with it. Like we'll just see. We'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna make too many lofty claims. Just again, it is May. The Oscars don't have them for 10 more months. So we'll see where A24 strategy takes them. But like,
but it's going to be a very interesting conversation throughout the year. I'm sure.
Yeah. But regardless, like they should feel very comfortable. We'll also take a look at May December. It got an 83 on Metacritic, which is really, really solid. I brought up yesterday about the comparison to Notes on a Scandal. And like, listen, that would have made Picture in the Field of 10. Still waiting on distribution. I think if this goes to somewhere like Focus or Searchlight, where it's going to be their top priority, we're looking good. And I don't think somewhere like Netflix or A24 would pick this up where it would be in contention to be the top priority.
No, so especially if you look at his past films, they tend to go Focus. That would, if you were to tell me which one I'd be predicting now, it would probably be Focus. I'm sort of hoping it goes to Searchlight, because Searchlight are the only studio. Really, I guess Poor Things is a contender, but we're not entirely sure. So this would just solidify maybe a Searchlight contender, which is always good to have. But yeah, studios, this needs a production company. We need it. I need it soon. So hopefully we won't have to wait too long, because that will clear up.
We'll probably get it by the end of Cannes.
Hopefully. Yeah, but, 83, very solid.
Yeah, no, like I people are freaking out because it's not what we expected. It isn't like this, like, dark brooding, like character drama. Like instead it's like a dark comedy infused with like a lot of camp, but it's like it still has the performances. It can still get screenplay. The score is getting a lot of attention. Like this isn't dead. Like, is it going to be a top Best Picture contender? No, but like, a lot of people didn't even think it was ever going to be that. So like, we still have it in our 10. Like, I still feel pretty good about it in our 10. Like
I
it
mean,
has
it's the
nominations.
fourth coming out of Cannes. It's the fourth coming out of Cannes. So,
Yeah,
like, obviously, subject to change, but I don't imagine it will drop off its top 10.
yeah.
So, like, yeah, it's still going to be one of the top contenders coming out of Cannes. It's still going to be one of the most buzzed about films coming out of Cannes. So, yeah, and like 83, 3.6, they're not scores to scoff at. So,
No, those are very reasonable scores. I mean, it's only I take the averages between Letterboxd and Metacritic if a film has both of them. It's only 2 points below Monster. Like
yeah, yeah,
it's really close to being the number 3 out of Cannes, just behind Killers and Zone of Interest. So like this film is strong.
yeah.
Okay, like it is strong. And as far as package, I'm getting Notes and Scandal vibes. As far as just like the general like feeling of like the film, I think we're looking at something like Triangle of Sadness, where it's just like this like campy like comedy coming out of Cannes that's like kind of divisive and like sure that won the Palme d'Or, but like it feels like that type of thing, but with a Notes and a Scandal type of package.
Yes, I'd agree. I'd agree. Yeah.
So this is Cannes as it stands. I mean, you got about to regress's fourth ring competition, $4, still solid fifth. Anatomy of Fall also at 6. Like I said, I think we could be looking at that as a potential actor or actress
Yeah,
winner
for sure.
for
For sure.
Hulu. So yeah, looking good, looking good. I think that's it for today. It's kind of a slow day
Nice.
today. Tomorrow gonna be pretty slow days. We have Asteroid City on Tuesday.
Which should be
Um,
exciting. Yeah. See what
so
that's
that'll
like.
be very, very fun. On Thursday, we have, I believe, La Chimera and the new Ken Loach film, The Old Oak.
The old oak.
And then
Yeah.
Friday, closing us out, we have Elemental, something like that. I might be a bit off on the schedule. But,
Yeah.
we're slowing down a bit during this week, but still a couple of highlights. And then we'll be keeping the Cannes
Exactly.
standings going. And also, just we'll see where May December goes, because that will probably happen during the festival. So
Yeah.
we'll keep
Yeah.
you guys updated on all of that. But that's it for today. So thank you guys for watching. We will see you again probably for tomorrow. There'll
Yeah.
probably be something to talk about. So we'll see you guys for tomorrow. But until then, thank you everybody for watching. Stay safe.